Hello and welcome, race fans, into some HCK Beagle Racing League action here on this fine Tuesday night as we come at you from the sunny side of California. These drivers have a tough 2-mile task ahead of them here tonight, where high speed, high draft, and high tire wear is going to be the name of the game here for 70 or so laps. These guys are going to be in for an absolute grueling endurance event here tonight. So let's get things all started off and kicked off and ready with our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. Of course, this 140-mile race is brought to you by the fantastic race sponsor. Oh, not that one. Apparently it didn't get pulled on over, but Asphalt, Outlaws Racing. Thank you guys for so much jumping on board here tonight. We also have to say big thank you to the other fantastic sponsors of Abruzzi Racewear. Be sure to go check them on out for all your racing needs, whether it's real life track day stuff or heading on out here to the sim with some fresh gloves, maybe some, slick looking shoes or something to help you grip that wheel and pedals all better. Be sure to go and check them on out. So a big thank you to Abruzzi. I got to say a big thank you also to TrackDogsRacing.com, the premier merchandising supplier of the HCKBRL and AAA Broadcasting, bringing you some fantastic high-quality gear, whether it is shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, tumblers, stickers, hats, pretty much anything you can possibly throw anything on. They have it there, so be sure to head on over to TrackDogsRacing.com and TrackDogs.net. Also, big thank you to Cheifland RC Raceway down there in Florida. If you're into the whole RC race car racing side of things, they got a couple track stuff going on down there. Be sure to go and check them on out. Of course, we also say a big thank you to Sonic Graphic Design. As always, they've been jumping on board here for the action replay, and got to say a big thank you to them. So be sure to check them on out for some graphics and cars style stuff and templates, all that being made, and they do some fantastic work. So thank you, Sonic Graphic Design. And of course, we also have to thank AdminBoxx here as well, the premier button box solution for race control admins, where at the push of a button they can throw yellow flags, black flags, do wave arounds, tell people where to go, pretty much do anything under the sun in the sim that you can possibly do, all with simple tippity taps of little pre-programmed buttons. Mind you, this is pre-programmed. You don't really have to do too much to get things all set up. So big thank you to AdminBoxx for that. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by my two best friends, one of which is another year older, going around that earthly sun style stuff. I don't know, whatever they say nowadays, but Mr. Alan English joining us here tonight after celebrating his birthday the other night. Glad to see that your intoxication level didn't bleed through too much here tonight, and you're able to broadcast here with us here. But we come back to one of our favorite tracks. We saw quite a few races in our early beginnings of way back in M.TV days of this great track here in California, Autoclub. It's just going to lead into some fantastic racing, I think, here tonight.
Yeah, it combines everything, right? You said it in the intro about aero is important here, tire wear is important here. It's a combination of things. This is not one of those tracks where, well, I don't have to worry about tire wear this week, or I don't have to worry about aero because I'm in a short track. You got to worry about it all here, and you got to pay attention to what's going on around you here too with the traffic situation and everything. And a little bit different feel out there tonight for qualifying, doing some open qual action. So get out there, and if you don't have a team or you're a small two-car team or something like that, get out there and find the pack out here and try to make a good qual lap, because it's going to make all the difference in the world when these guys grid up here in just a few minutes.
That indeed. Down there on pit road, all ready to rumble, Mr. Adam Turner is getting all set up here for any beating and banging action that goes on down there. And I know, Adam, it was a pretty quiet week over there in the Discord after Las Vegas, so I guess people's feelings didn't get too hurt from that one. What can you expect here tonight over in sunny California?
Well, I hope somebody comes out here and starts some kind of fight so we have something to talk about. A little hatred ain't gonna hurt anybody. You might as well hate it. You're probably gonna get taxed just for iRacing at simulated California, the way that it runs out there. But what's that guy's name, the Pelosi Jr. there, the Newsom, that guy, he ruining that part of the country. It's sad. But regardless of all that, the anger and hatred needs to flow through here at Autoclub, because I'm tired of seeing gentlemen out here on the track. These guys they're good. HCKBRL Racing League, they're good. But let's see some fights. You got plenty of room here to fight or turn somebody in the wall. And that's really what I'm hoping for. I know that's a real surprise to y'all. But here's the interesting thing. 0 fast repairs, 75% fuel, 5 sets of tires, and it's 121 degrees on the track, so it's going to get real slick out there.
Ooh, it's hot.
Yes, indeedy. That it will be, as we take a look at that race info. Like you said, a hot, sweltery day under this California sun. Going to be a tough task for these drivers to save up those tires all the way to the end. I know 70 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but woo, boy, 70 laps is a long way around here. It takes just over about 40 seconds. Probably going to be looking at that 40-second mark once when people start getting into these drafts all packed up and whatnot. But otherwise, no real clouds up there in the sky, and these guys are going to have beautiful weather out there here this evening. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race, and man, this track is very much not like any other, and you got to find that California groove. It's one of those tracks where you can run up high, you can run down low, you can run in the middle, you can do a mix match of all 3, 4, 5 different things, and just try to find your way around here.
And be prepared to change that line as tire wear becomes an issue. If you start to get a little bit of a tight condition, maybe you want to move up to a different line and vice versa. So these guys are going to be paying a lot of close attention to how their trucks are behaving out there. As the track's, it's going to get slick quick out there with a track temp of 122 degrees on the track surface.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some, difference in strategies. Who's going to save? How are you going to save tires? And sliding up the track is huge here. It's just a cheese grater of a track. So we are going to see some issues. A lot of times, though, like here in California, they'll get spread out, and that kind of gets monotonous. Hopefully we don't see them get spread out too far here tonight. Like to see that little bit of pack racing here in California.
That
One thing too,
indeed.
you know, if these guys start getting some green flag pit stops in here, and we do have a, you know, a really long green flag run or two in a row, then that's when your pit strategy and stuff may end up deciding this race. We've seen it happen here before.
Yes, sir. Give me a second here, guys. I gotta mess with something.
Yeah, look, English. There's
Go
some
ahead,
people
man.
out there
Yeah.
chatting already.
I
What's
was
going on
just
out there in
about
the
to say,
chat?
we've got, Earl Evans out there. Appreciate you being here once again, buddy. And Tower Operator saying good evening. Andrew Hansley said this is one of his 3 favorite tracks. He loves here, Talladega, and Michigan. Let's see. Earl also pulling for America's Driver out there, pulling for Albert Anderson. Let's see what else we got out there. Carol Hansley, enjoying the broadcast so far. Thank you so much for being here. Sure appreciate it. She, of course, is supporting Andrew in that number 24. Andrew also saying he's already slipping and sliding every corner out there, all over the place. So, yeah, this is going to be one of those races where you're really going to have to pace yourself and really kind of maybe back it down and maybe conserve some tires out there. You can't really do that during the qualifying session, but during the race, they're going to be looking for consistent, safe lap times out there, and not just trying to go out there and run as fast as you possibly can, because these tires will not last if you do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We're kind of looking at the early leaderboard right now. Up at the top, Mr. Kevin Winker sitting on top of the podium right now. He's still got a couple of guys out there trying to get some quicker and quicker lap times, trying to beat that 41.13 that he has set. Of course, this being open qualifying, getting a draft partner right now is absolutely critical, but just remember, you can't bump draft. Once when you get one of those 0Xs, man, that lap is invalidated, and you're just going to have to go around and do all that hard work again. So these guys are doing their best to kind of do a little look but no touch action.
Yeah, that is not easy to do, especially, you know, close proximity like that. If somebody, you know, were to lift or something in front of you, you could bump into the back of them and not just invalidate your own lap time, but invalidate theirs as well. Here's the qualifying session continues.
I only got a couple minutes left here, as you can see. Actually, exactly like 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining. Anybody gonna jump up that leaderboard here late? Well, we're just gonna have to wait and find out. I got quite a few people out here continuing to run in a little kind of pack. You can see Nate Cogdell in the one machine trying to catch on up to get some of that. I don't know. It's dirty air, but it's clean air. I hate how they say that. You know, like, oh, it's got up in the dirty. Well, yeah, but that dirty air's the draft. That's what's allowing them to get all sucked back on up.
Yeah, they're not relying on forward bite, front downforce in those kind of races and stuff. You're gonna get a little bit of that here tonight, though, especially when you get to the turns. So, yeah, definitely be prepared to change your lineup a little bit as you enter the turns to try to get some forward grip there.
So far, Kevin Winker is the class of the field, but look at Mark Beverly and Joshua Moore in that Muhlenberger Custom Homes truck. They're super tight. 41,149 and a 41,152. That's virtual tie right there for second and third.
Basically, as we just have a few drivers finishing up their laps, and it's that checkered flag waves on the session. Anyone gonna get that last minute lap time in? I don't know if anyone will. Does not look like anyone will beat Kevin Winker for that top dog spot here in qualifying. You go, arm waving dude. Man, he's getting a good workout in there, I'll tell you.
The flag man's going to be busy here. Hopefully not too busy waving yellows here tonight. Hopefully we get some good green flag racing in here.
I think we'll really see when the tire wear sets in. We might see some action. Maybe when the tires are cold, some pit entry and exit, maybe. But so far, it should be clean. Other than that, my opinion, of course, is very humble.
Oh, because that is exactly what you're known for there, buddy.
Thank you. I am very humble. King of iRace and King of Michigan. Yes, I'm humble.
That you are. Speaking of humble, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver is going to start here tonight. What that has to do with humble, I don't know. I just couldn't think of anything to feed into that. But we get started off. Yeah, thanks. We got started off here with the 42 of Kevin Winker picking up the pole position win. We'll be talking to him here in just a minute. The 13 of one of those Beverly boys out here. Can't say brothers. I know a couple of them are brothers, but someone's a papa over here. But Mark Beverly starting up there in second to the outside. 51, Joshua Moore coming up a little bit short there as well, but getting a good starting spot right behind his teammate there in third. You got the 16, Nick Gardner, one of the rookies here this season, starting up there in fourth. We saw him run really well last week. Let's see if that continues here tonight. 44, David Wright gets a good starting spot up there in fifth. 64, Cale Turbeville. Does that ever surprise you? Him starting up there in the top 10? Well, he's starting there in sixth. Got the 33 of John the Showman Sciolino starting in seventh. The 329, Albert Anderson, trying to change some numbers and some things on up here. He gets a good starting spot here tonight in eighth. Ninth will be the one of Nate Cogdell, with the, I believe that's a 15 of Cody Staten, rounding out your top 10.
Row number 6 is going to be Jesse Calloway on the inside and Brett Sommers on the outside. Row number 7 is going to be Randy Lapidus and in the 14 and the 88 of Zachary Staten. Brian Torcha and Hans the Boss Beverly make up row number 8. Row number 9 is going to be the 39 of Joshua Freed and Neil Lapidus in the 41. Rounding out your top 20 and row number 10 here, Eric Stoy in the 4 machine on the inside and Jonathan Herbert on the outside in the 87.
Number 5, Stephen Naylor, 21st. 17, is that? I thought Tom Barish was a double nickel. Anyway, he's 22nd. 86, Jake Bunjo, 23rd. 26, J.A. Burton, 24th. Frank Ranger, 25, he'll start 24th. Sorry, he'll start 25th. Paul Buchanan starts 26th. Tyler Beverly, 27th. Andrew Hansley, 28th. And Bad Brad Hunt in the 169 truck.
Bad Brad. Love it when they already come in with their own nicknames.
No, that's our job. We're the ones that give you we give them the nicknames. That's our job. But it is easier if they have their own already pre-produced. But I was looking at David Wright, the 44 truck. Didn't he play for the Mets?
I think he did.
He was so good. Good to have a baseball player out here in the field.
National League ball.
Well, he did play for the Mets.
I had that indeed, as we go ahead and talk to tonight's AdminBoxx Pole Award winner here, and that is going to be the 42 of the El Capitan Team America. Did the pace truck pull off?
Yep.
It did.
Oh, all right. Well, never mind. Sorry, Kevin. We'll get to you here in a bit. As we go green flag racing here.
Yeah, they usually add us a lap there, but
that's all right. Let's get to racing. Nobody wants to hear us talk. Let's watch them race.
Yeah, you're darn tooting right there, Mr. Turner, as we almost go 3 wide up here at the start. The 42 got a good start, but he drifted way up the racetrack. That's allowing that 51 Joshua Moore to trickle on down through on that bottom side, but the 42 with a run coming back off of the corner maintains that lead. The 51 and the 13 continue to battle side by side. You got the 16 up there as well. As you can start to see, this track extremely wide, and everybody making use of that width here tonight as we're going 2, 3, 4 wide here already on lap number 1, as we got 3 wide going on here, right around where David Wright is in that 44 machine. He was being the peanut butter and jelly in that sandwich, stuck up there in the middle, but he's able to drive it on out of there a-okay, continuing to try to make up a few spots here and there. The 51 Joshua Moore, I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he got a poor exit there coming out of 4, drops quite a few positions here. He's now trying to catch back on up to that 33 of Sholino, but not quite able to do so just yet. The 7 of Brett Sommers having a heck of a run here early on, trying to make up a couple more spots. Oh, truck up into the wall. That's a 33. Mr. Sholino getting all checked on up after having a pretty good start, moving back a few spots, but we still got plenty of time for him to make those spots all back on up. 13, Mark Beverly leapfrogs over that 42 of Kevin Winker, able to get control of this lead here tonight, and he's going to try his best out there to hold on to it for as long as he can as the dipping, diving, and dodging continues to unravel here. The 64 Cale Turbeville trying to find where he's comfortable here tonight yet as well.
Is very wide. These guys have a ton of room between the high line and the low line here. There's almost, 3 or 4 different lines you can run here. It's so wide.
Yeah, in the top 10, they're using all of it right there at the moment. I need to check out the back of the field, but everybody's just kind of figuring out where they want to be early on in this race, but it's going to change as these tires wear down.
Oh, it most definitely will. The 14 of Randy Lapidus is trying to stay tucked in behind. It looks like that 88 of Zach Staten. Zach Staten, one of those guys you can definitely be counting on. If you're near him, he's going to be up there towards the front by the end of this thing. So he's just keeping his eyes on the prize right now, trying to make a pass on that 7 excuse me, of Brett Sommers. How about that man with the best name in iRacing, Mr. Jake Bunjo in that 86, already up 4 spots on the day, up to 19th, continuing to charge his way up through this field a little bit. He just got passed by the 87 of Jonathan Herbert. I wonder if the Herbert crowd's out there in the chat cheering him on here tonight. You also got that 39 Josh Freed slowly picking up some spots, as it looks like we still got a couple of 2 wide situations here right around where that 24 Andrew Hansley is trying to oh no, excuse me, I think that was a 34 I was looking at. Yeah, Jesse Calloway trying to hold on to some spots, but a lot of single file here early there, boys.
Yeah, and even Joel Moore out there in YouTube land, pulling for Joshua Moore, of course, in the 51 truck. Thank y'all for joining us out there on the YouTube channel. If you like what you see, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate all of our fans tuning in to us.
Yeah, hit the button. We got to get rid of this. I think we're being shadow banned right now. It doesn't look like we have the normal amount of viewers as we normally do. But that's probably up to Zuckerberg and Gates and their hatred for me. So you just got to hit the buttons, hit the bells. Come join us. We try to have fun here.
As we jump up onto the roof here with Brian Torchia. He's almost side by side with the 14 machine. Oh man, Randy Lapidus and Neil Lapidus kind of right around Brian here in that 81 machine, doing a little crossover action going through turns 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to be able to make that one stick and move up that 1 extra spot.
And Team Herbert is out there. Ryan Peterson and Miss Spasmodic is out here as well. Shauna Flick out here pulling for Winker. Hashtag Winker Nation.
Oh, they're having a battle up front right now. Him and Beverly going at it.
You ain't kidding. I got a feeling this is going to be one of the ones to watch here up until the bitter end. As of right now, that 13 machine holding on to that top spot. But you can see him getting a little loose. Ooh, both drivers, the 42 and the 13, getting a little loose coming out of turn number 2 there, man. It's definitely slick out there this evening. The 42 gets to run down the backstretch and jumps back over and takes control of the lead. How about that 329, Mr. Albert Anderson, America's driver up there? Ooh, looks like we got some people having some incidents here.
Yeah, Nick Gardner got a little sideways there in the front stretch, but saved it. What a save.
Now let's go ahead and take a quick rewind and check out what happened to Mr. Gardner here. It was three wide. Oh, and he just gets a bumper hook just a little bit there, but a good save, like you said, by that 16 machine to keep things pointed in the right direction. Minimal damage done to any of the vehicles on out there. And here we go, getting right back up on to the full head of steam here. How about we got the 44 David Wright having a pretty good battle there with that 64 Cale Turboville, 51 Joshua Moore trying to come back after I think he scraped the wall a little bit there on lap 2, and he fell back quite a few positions. Now jumping back up there into 4th, but what I was saying just a little bit before that fantastic save, 329 Albert Anderson, he's up 5 already there inside of that top 3, running these guys down. Albert, one of these drivers that he'll surprise you at some of these tracks up here. He'll put in the effort off screen time here and making sure he gets his marks just right and all ready to go for race time.
Yeah, Earl Evans out there saying, Albert, run the high line up there while you can. Take advantage of it. Start getting it rubbered in up there for these guys. Whoa!
Yeah, we got
There's a lot of good racing out here. What's going on there, Brown?
Yeah, got a lot of zigging and zagging, some slow traffic out there on the race surface, and it's all just kind of coming all clumped together here right around the 11th all the way up to about 7th. And even more so once when you get past them. He's got some passing being made by Jesse Calloway on Zach Staten right now, trying to hold on to that position up on that high side, maybe get the momentum coming off of the corner as Kevin Winker gets back to the lead here. He's going to continue to battle against Mark Beverly back and forth here during this first couple stages that we're going to see. Again, they don't do a stage break over here at the HCKBRL Racing League, so we're going to expect to possibly see some good green flag pit stops. How about that Brad Hunt machine? Bad Brad out there right now in the 169, hanging around 23rd, but he's just keeping that truck clean. I got a feeling be on the lookout for him here tonight. Maybe make up some moves if things get restacked here late. Haas, the boss, Beverly in the 22 machine, looking down low on a couple guys here, like the 44 as well as the 4. So he's got a whole bunch of 4s around him.
And Ryan Peterson pointing out the nice new paint job on that 87 Silverado out there for Ridge Power Sports. Also on there, Freedom Lawn Care. We love it when the sponsors get involved with some of these drivers and have some cool paints out there with their company logos and stuff on it. We love it.
Well, look at the 33 truck when you get a chance, Brown. He's in 24th. John Cholino. Great looking paint. Sonic graphic design. It's gold. It looks like
shiny.
Yeah, it's real shiny. I like shiny stuff. I mean,
of course,
like a fishing lure.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course, you can see there also on the outside of that truck, he's got a little bit of scrapage after getting up into that outside wall a little bit. I don't think it's enough to really mess up his handling or anything like that, but man, it just scrubbed off so much speed that it's taken so long for him to really get back into the groove of things that he's kind of fallen off the main pack here. As here comes that 51 back at it again, going underneath the 13 of Mark Beverly up here, up at the front, side by side, almost some contact there, door to door battling up here inside this podium. 64 Cale Turboville, but he really didn't have that great of a season last season, so I bet he's willing to try to maybe push the envelope here tonight a little bit more, maybe pick up that first win of the season early for him.
It's about consistency here too. You want to be consistent in your finishing, finish well. Don't, at least try not to have any DNFs or back of the pack finishes here. I don't think anybody's trying to do that, but you really gotta sometimes do a little risk management.
Yeah, well, I don't really want to risk too much this early on in the race. 15 laps in, what point do you think these guys are going to see a huge amount of fall off on these tires?
Oh, they're probably already seeing them.
look at some lap times here.
Yeah, I think they're already past. I think the second mark. I think on what we were seeing in the 41s, now starting to get up into the 42s, even some 43s being had out there as well. So I apologize there, Turner, but I did my typical Turner was talking, so time to tune him out kind of thing. How many sets of tires do these guys have?
Oh, you don't listen to me. That's right. Everybody, you know what? I'm going to retire after this season anyway. So just so you know, a little precursor. 5 sets of tires there.
Okay, so I mean, if these guys wanted to do, so 5 including the starting set.
I've got. Oh, it says tire set limit in the race 4. Does that include the first set?
I don't believe so.
Okay, y'all don't listen to me. Tire set limit in the race says 5 on my screen.
Wow, it says 4 on mine. That's really
well,
crazy.
then maybe we should have a fight over how many tires these guys get.
That's weird.
Somebody's got to fight.
Yeah, might as well. Come on up. I know it's hot over here at California, so if you ever need some AC, come on up here, buddy. And
no, we'll stay down here. There's cold beer down here in the pits. I don't need to come up there and hang out in the AC with you two shenanigans.
We've got Crown on Ice up here.
Ooh, what? I'll be up there in a minute.
What?
But these guys, I think, with that, they could come in every pretty much 25 laps, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see some teams using that strategy. I know fuel-wise, I don't want to say 30 laps is kind of going to be the cutoff mark, but I just got a gut feeling here 25 laps is what we'll see out of these guys.
Good number, I guess.
I think that's a good call. Probably a good call.
Yeah, it's the 5 of Steven Naylor looks down low on the 17 of Tom Barish. Of course, Tom Barish typically in the double nickel, but we had some miscommunications and people's numbers changed. Like it was an we'll blame iRacing for that one because
Sure.
we don't blame iRacing enough for anything. But nonetheless, he's having a okay race out there in the back right now. But again, man, just the 3/4 of this battle is making sure that truck stays clean, and that is exactly what he's doing here. Is Joshua Moore dropped down the order once again a little bit, back down into 5th. He's now tucked in front of the 329 of Albert Anderson. Josh Freed and Cale Tuberville made it around him. Still got that battle for the race lead going on between Winker and Beverly. But here comes that machine of Albert Anderson. Extremely early pit here coming down on lap number 20.
Ooh, that's interesting. Man, what is happening out here? There's lots of different things happening as far as tire wear, and you can tell who's saved and who hadn't. Especially in the back here, I'm watching Frank Ranger battle it out with Cogdell and Tom Barish.
Yeah, I got a big old cluster.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about that. I mean, you're racing the racetrack here first. You know what I mean? And really trying to find where that truck runs well. Secondary is what everybody else is doing. At least for the first probably 2/3 of this race, you're just concentrating on yourself, what your truck's doing, how it's handling, and the changes you're going to make. So, yeah, these guys probably not too worried about track position, at this point. But we'll see.
As you can see, that 42 of Winker, he's been pretty much up there on that high side the entire time. I think he's in the kind of tire strategy-ish save mode kind of game. And, man, he's been drifting ever closer into that wall in each of these corners every time that he goes by.
You know what he's doing? He's finding the edge of the marbles because you can see him up there, 1.5 feet or so off the wall. He's trying to find the edge where those marbles stop in the turn so he can put his tires right up there against that little cushion.
Can you believe they're tearing this track down? That's sad.
I can't. I think it's insane.
Oh, well, I can. It's California.
Well,
yeah, I mean, the politics and everything out there and the price of everything, I get it, but it's kind of become an iconic track with a 2-miler, which we don't normally see. It's really fun to watch races out here.
Well, luckily we'll have it on iRacing forever, hopefully.
That indeed we should. Here, let's jump inside the cockpit here on the gyro cam of that 51 Joshua Moore as he tries to stay in line behind the 4 of Eric Stoy and the 7 Brett Sommers right here in front of him. As you can see, not incredibly high banked here at California. It's just these turns are so long and just wide that you can keep that power down in it pretty deep here, especially once when these tires start to wear. It's you really hearing these guys not touch the brake, just kind of getting off the gas and about halfway through the corner getting right back onto it.
It's very important to, kind of anticipate when you're going to be able to put power back down and not do it too early, because you could find yourself sliding up into that outside wall. It's takes a little practice, a little tuning as you go. Thank you so much, Sherry Janner, for joining us. Then let's go, Herbert. Ryan Peterson saying nothing better than coming home and seeing Herbert's message that there's a race to watch on TV tonight. Thank you for the broadcast. Appreciate you being here, Ryan.
Yeah, he's in 13th right now, and looks like tires are bothering him. He kind of slipped up there in turn 3 and 4. Slipped up the track, didn't hit anything. We got a few takers down there in the pits right now as well.
Eric Stoy, Jake Bunjo making that trip on down onto pit lane, going from 180 to 55 miles an hour here at this 2-mile speedway here. Excuse me.
Anderson couldn't check up in time. He clipped the back of the 42, bashed the right rear end there.
All right, all the pits. Well, there's Herbert's in the wall again. I think he's got to come down. There's a lot of guys calling in right now.
That they are, as we kind of watch pit road entry here. Oh, the big shuffle. Oh, 44 almost getting into back of, I think that was the 87 of Herbert. So yeah, pretty much everybody coming on down and in here. Lap 26, so right around that 25 lap mark. Pretty much everyone coming on in. Still have that Mark Beverly machine out in front, looking cool as ever though. Right behind him, 64 Klondike, Cale Turbeville, trying to stay on up there with him as long as possible. Looks like both drivers are coming on down into their pits now, this time by as well. Paul Buchanan down there on pit road as Joshua Freed staying on now that one extra lap or two. But of course, this is kind of where the long strategy game comes into play here, Alan, where I know we talk about, man, the longer you stay out, the more you're losing time. Well, we say that now, but it's going to be a 2-stop race no matter what.
Right.
Why not give yourself the shortest run on that final set of tires?
Yeah, you might as well. Go slow now to go fast later, right? It's kind of how it's going to work out. Janelle Ryneo, I think. Say let's go, Herbert, in the 87 Ridge Power Sports truck. Yeah, the Ridge Power Sports Chevy Silverado got some damage on it once again there. No fast repairs here tonight, as Adam mentioned. So these guys running around with damage like the 42 Kevin Winker on his right rear there. They're just going to have to live with it until they get a time to sit in the pits and get it manually repaired under a caution or something, maybe, because you don't want to do it during green flag. You're going to lose way too much track position.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a good handful of drivers that wish they could come on down and in and actually get some actual damage repaired. John Sciolino being one of those drivers trying to just limp that 33 machine down onto pit road. 39 of Josh Freed now making his way on out. Joshua Moore in the 51 making the dive on down pit road. Nick Gardner, oh, save it, buddy. Yes, he does. Thankfully, again, pit road just about as wide open as the racetrack here, so he used every single inch of it to get that truck as checked up as he could.
Herbert did get a black flag in the 87. It looks like he just came in to clear it.
That hurts. Yahtzee.
That indeed is. We have the pit cycle officially just about completed here, as we just try to get things all tidied back on up. It looks like Albert Anderson in the 329 will get that lead number 1 spot as things cycle on back through. About 3.5 seconds behind him will be the 13 of Mark Beverly. Kevin Winker still running up there right there with him. 4 of Eric Stoy, 7 Brett Sommers, 64 Cale Turbeville, 39 Joshua Freed, Brian Torchia in the 81 machine, 51 Joshua Moore, and the 22 of Haas the Boss Beverly in that top 10 right now. We still do have some racing going on here. Look at that. Look at the Lapidus guys out there. They're racing against each other pretty good. Same thing with the 5 of Stephen Naylor. He's getting up there into the mix as well. All of them making their way around the 86 of Jake Bunjo. Jesse Calloway trying to come back after he had his great save down there, trying to inch his way back on up this leaderboard. Looks like that should be double nickel of Tom Barish in the 17 machine. He's been down in the pits for a good second, trying to get some damage fixed on that truck, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. He'd been sitting there for a while. It's like Eric Stoy so far. Well, almost your biggest mover. Tyler Beverly, so far your biggest mover of the day, up 16 positions. Currently in 11th place. Eric Stoy in 4th. He's up 15 positions. So a couple of these guys on the move out there.
They are, and I had to double take after seeing the 45's picture that he put in there for his driver profile on the overlay. I had to be like, I thought it was just a man sticking out some leg. Well, he was sticking out some leg and some red, white, and blue.
Now that's patriotic right there.
Yeah, it is. Nothing gets Adam more excited than seeing that stuff. Of course, he's not here to compliment it, but we are, so we can tell him about it later on. 24 Andrew Hansley, after sponsoring last week's race, trying to find his way up to a good finish here tonight. Kind of stuck back here in 25th right now, but he's still got some racing left. He's got the 26 of Jay Burton. I kind of miss that Koa camping machine that he used to run, but I think that might have brought him some bad luck last season, so he changed it up here this season. So we got some good racing going around there for 24th. You got the 22 and the 51 going side by side right now as well. 7, and it looks like, oh, who is that? The 64 going side by side, just up ahead of them. Still got a good 3-way battle here as the 13 Mark Beverly, gets back control of this race. 42 Kevin Winker, now 4 of Eric Stoy, still in that last podium spot away from Albert Anderson. But you also have to remember those guys pitted about 5-6 laps difference from Albert, and those laps do matter here. Normally at like a 1.5 miles or the mile tracks, we won't really talk much about 5-lap difference, but here at this 2-mile one at Autoclub, those 5 laps are that's 10 miles.
Long way here.
It's a
especially
long way.
Going that fast, you're burning up lots of fuel as well.
Yeah, but as with any good long green flag run, as we're reaching about that halfway point here in this race, things starting to get a little spread on out, but like I said, we still have some of that great racing going on. Ooh, slicing and dicing here. Looks like we might be going 3 wide. No, the 7's going to back out of it here before trying to stick that nose back in there right behind the 64 as they make their way around that 329 of Anderson. If Anderson's sticking to the strategy that I think he's sticking to, expect him to come on down here at lap 40. You got Bad Brad Hunt out there. Oh, truck up into the outside wall there a little bit. Looks like that was, that was the 17 marked Frank Ranger machine up there into that outside wall, getting some weight savings there.
These guys doing a pretty good job of staying off of each other for the most part. We have seen a little bit of truck-on-truck contact out there. I think we've seen more contact with guys in their right sides against that outside wall. Every couple of laps, I'll see somebody just barely scrub it, or getting an increasing number of black marks on that blue wall on the outside of this track.
And that indeed is the 5 Steven Naylor looks down low and gets the pass done on Neil Lapidus in the 41 machine, moving himself up closer to a top 15 finish. Still got, let's see here, that's Jesse Calloway and Brad Hunt having a pretty good battle here, kind of towards the tail end of this field, trying to get whatever spots that they can. But again, we're kind of just right here in the middle of this thing. Still a long way to go for these drivers. Only been racing around here for about 25 minutes. They still got another half hour to go worth of race time, and that's if we don't get any yellow. Of course, now that I say that, you can sure as heck expect one.
Nah,
That'd
we'll
be
be
your
good.
fault.
We'll be good.
Beverly-
I think they're clean. Go ahead.
Beverly Rapp out there joining us, pulling for Josh Moore in the 51. Everything come out all right there, Adam?
Well, I had a lot of things happening here. You know, I like
Oh,
anger,
okay.
so I had a little anger here at the house, and
Troll those savages over there.
yeah, I know. You got to be careful out here on the reservation now.
It's the,
Earl Evanston, the wall slows you down out there, guy. Yeah, a
What's he
couple of
talking
trucks
about?
out there.
Moonshine too? Yeah.
He said come down and see him in Florida. He'll hook you up.
Oh, when I retire at the end of this season here,
You're not going anywhere.
I'm thinking about it. I'm tired of y'all.
Jumping ship. Oh, you tired of us, huh?
Well,
let me
Coca-Cola
tell you
iRacing's
something.
called me in.
Sure they have.
well,
Okay.
let me
You're still under contract with us, so
Let me tell you who's tired. Well, these trucks' tires are tired, man. They're starting to kind of run out of juice here later on in this run. Again, probably expecting Anderson to pit here in the next couple laps, and in about 5 laps after that, we'll see everybody else come on down. But how about that 13 machine? Mark Beverly out in front, and out in front by a good margin, almost a second and a half. The truck that's behind him there, that's the 87 machine of Jonathan Herbert, trying to maybe make up some lap times here and get back up onto that lead lap. He had a little bit of a longer pit stop that last go around there, and trying to maybe get that last few little seconds. Ooh, 87 still scraping up into that outside wall here. So not the, I don't think the 87's having his most memorable night out there, but he's still plugging away, trying at it. He is in that lucky dog spot, so if something were to happen, he's got a good chance of making a pretty good comeback. Got the 16 Nick Gardner right now trying to get on down underneath the 22 of Haas Beverly. Looks like he will just be able to snag that one going through turns 1 and 2. Now down that back straightaway. But man, it's really this battle between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You can even throw 5th with the 4 of Eric Stoy in there as well. Man, this thing's been pretty hot all race long.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
forgot
getting
what I
after it up front. Well, I mean, of course you did. You got older this week. Well, yesterday, matter of fact. Happy birthday to you.
I appreciate
What
it.
an old gentleman you are. I'd be nice to you. But, yeah, they're kind of spread out on the track, too, as far as middle, high, and low lines as they dive into the corners, but they all get up top on the backstretch here. Interesting way around the track. Everybody's got a little different way.
Jamie Erlacher joining us, also on Team Herbert. A lot of support out there tonight for Jonathan Herbert in that 87. Who else we got? Nicole Gaffidi pulling for Winker out there. Brett Winker here as well. Here comes all of Kevin Winker's fans as we talk about it.
And Winker was one of those guys there early on that first run that was looking like he was going to be, he was going to get up there for a good fight with Mark Beverly. But like you said there, Alan, just that little bit of contact he and Anderson had as Anderson was trying to shuffle through some traffic on those fresher sets of tires while the 42 was trying to come on down into pit road. I think that's just affecting him a little bit too much right now.
And it's hurt Albert as well too. You know, he's not being able to go near as fast as he was, you know, before that incident happened. His damage is on the front of his truck. So hopefully he's watching his temps too, making sure he doesn't have a overheating condition. And just like that, Tammy Lee Mann is here pulling for Herbert in the Ridge Power Sports truck. He needs, like you said, Alan, he needs a break or two. He's 2 laps down, needs a couple of lucky dogs to get back on the lead lap here. Truck does have some damage on it.
Yeah, that it does. Another driver having a little bit of a rough night here. That one of Nate Cogdell down there on the apron. Looks like he's coming out of pit lane or something right now. Maybe he just went down there letting some leaders on a round, but yeah, just not having the best of nights for that one machine. Been running a little slow out there, kind of getting towards the tail end of this field, but he is not dead last, and that is something you can always put your hat on.
So Mark Beverly, I guess, guys, would you say he's out there putting on a clinic? Because, I mean, he's just running away with this thing, maintaining at least a half a second gap behind him. And I think that's just him managing tires, just trying to keep a little bit of a gap on Josh Freed.
Yeah, and these guys pitted right around that same time. I think Freed stayed out that one extra lap. We were just saying how 5 laps is a big difference. Well, 1 lap's really not that big of a difference on tires, especially how hard these guys are running up here, up at the front. You can see the 4 of Stoy trying to sneak up underneath that 42. Kevin Winker trying to get up a couple of extra spots here as we're closing in on the final 25 laps of this race to go here in just a few moments. And that means we're also coming up on time for these guys to come back on down for their money stop pit stop.
I'm surprised at how clean this race has been, besides the couple of little contact incidents. They're doing a great job out there keeping this thing green for the most part.
Callaway's talking about pitting in here. So is the number 41. You're right. You're right on the money. 14's pitting.
Yep.
Yep. They're a gang, right? Didn't we talk about that?
Lapidus gang?
I think so.
Clan, gang, I don't know. Oh my goodness, got some beating and banging going on up here. Right around that 39, the 13, and the 64. Holy smokes, the 13 just got absolutely mob rushed up there. Everybody's starting to catch on back up.
Well, as like you like to say there, Adam, the Beverleys are all from Ohio, and you don't mess with folks from Ohio.
Oh my goodness,
Pretty
yeah.
tough up there.
Those people scare me. And you know, being from down here, down around the South, Texas, and Louisiana, Oklahoma, we're not scared of much, but those Ohio people, they kind of freak me out a little bit. Or they're just kind of tough, you know. I think it's the weather. They can handle the weather, unlike us.
Might be it. Tower operator out there pulling for Team America, of course, running his sponsor on their trucks, Muehlberger Custom Homes. Matt Bunjo pulling for Stealth Motorsports out there, pulling for Jake Bunjo in the 86.
Yep.
5 of Steven Naylor coming in.
So here we go. The final round of pit stops now up underway, and we get ready to head into the final stages of this race. And man, talk about some big movers and shakers. Josh Freed up 16 spots up there into the top spot. 169 of Bad Brad, a rookie here this season, is now back up into a top 10 right now as the cycle starts to kind of go on and on. And I know, Mr. English, you're keeping an eye on those black flags as these guys are trying to make whatever time they can up on pit road.
Yeah, and guys have been really good about it here so far. I think we've only seen one, and I think it was the 87. He had to come back down, clear a flag. But for the most part, everybody minding the speed limit out there and the laws on entering and exiting the pits here.
Yeah, you kind of got to follow the rules there. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Especially
it's
under green flag conditions like this,
sure,
There's
you got to
no-
get it down to 55 after going, 160.
Yeah, there's no break. We haven't had a break in the action. These guys probably mentally a little bit of fatigue is probably setting in. Worried about their tires, worried about the pit strategy. No time to, take a break. Because sometimes when those cautions, they're very helpful to kind of reset yourself, right?
Oh, yeah,
that
100%.
indeed. As you can see, the people with some of the fresher tires and the bow going on up here, up at the front. There goes the 7 machine, just cruising right on by with that fresh rubber. Absolutely not wasting time to try to get the lap back there. But man, great fight going on between Freed, Beverly, and Turboville. And if this race doesn't have enough action for you, just wait till next week where they go to iRacing Super Speedway. Whew!
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, if you haven't ever seen that track, you guys are in for a wild ride. How about Tyler Beverly in that 45 machine, running really quick laps out there right now, setting the fastest lap of the race at 41:37. For the most part, he's been doing it by himself. He hasn't picked up too much of draft off of anybody.
Wow, that's an incredible lap. I bet he sniffed a little bit of draft off of somebody, but golly, that's a heck of a time.
I'll tell you what, iRacing Super Speedway, we hadn't seen that in a while. So I'm looking forward to that. There might actually be a fight there.
And several leagues have stopped going there because of the netcode problems, but the netcode problems and stuff aren't just there. Some of it has to do with the model of this truck and the hitbox and stuff that they're still tweaking and adjusting on it. There's a lot less netcode than there used to be. iRacing's definitely working on it.
Yeah, I think it's gotten better for sure.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that indeed, as we're waiting on just a few more drivers to hit their pit boxes for the final times as we close in under 20 laps to go. We have to say a big thank you to tonight's race sponsor of Asphalt, Outlaws Racing. Be sure to go and check those guys on out. I think they're a race team over here. No, that's kind of like it's the separate league thing going on. I think it's like their super short track stuff. I think I don't know. I need to pay attention more often, man.
Well, we're paying attention all the time.
They got a Facebook page. People can go check out their Facebook page.
Yeah.
Asphalt Outlaws Racing. Oh, it's a racing group. Cool.
Absolutely love it when these guys get together and create some fantastic league situations out there. Nick Gardner out there in the front right now with Brad Hunt. Last couple drivers up here towards the front that have yet to pit for their final go around here, and you can definitely see they're struggling on those old tires. Everybody trickling right on by them. I think other than that, no, Andrew Hansley in the 24 machine has yet to make his final pit stop here as well, with 17 laps now left to go. After all the pit stops were said and done, where people kind of sit close to each other, well, Kevin Winker, Eric Stoy, Joshua Moore, and Josh Freed are all right around each other. Of course, everybody taking 4 tires and a full tank of fuel to make it here to the bitter end. Nick Gardner does finally dive on down into pit lane. Same thing with Jake Bunjo. And I think Tom Barish has called it a night here. I think he's had enough fun for the evening, even though his car's still parked down there. Just kind of relaxing.
Might need a break. Check out Jake Buncho's paint when you get a chance. It's the Philly Fanatic, and I don't know if you know anything about baseball, but he's a pretty good mascot. He's got a punchable face. But English, you're old enough. Do you remember the San Diego Chicken? I love that thing.
I don't remember that now.
The San Diego Chicken, it would go to it was Padres, and he went all over and was the mascot everywhere. He was so fun. Check him out on YouTube.
I remember the Spurs Coyote when I was a kid watching basketball.
No.
We loved
nothing.
the Coyote.
No. Anyway, Jake Bunjo has a cool paint.
What I love is over there at Tampa Bay, they've got the Stingray tank out like center field there. Imagine being the person having to fish the balls out of that thing. Ooh, as we're 3 wide, right around Winker. Oh my goodness, things got squeezed up pretty tight there.
Brad Hunt finally comes down for his pit stop. A lot of these guys that are trapped 1 lap down are breathing a sigh of relief as a lot of these guys will get back on the lead lap here as the cycle is finally finishing up here.
Yeah, that indeed. And who's holding the lead after everybody's officially hit their box at least that second time? 7, Brett Sommers out there. If he can maintain some of that tire wear, he's got about half second over Brian Torcha, and then a little bit over a second over all the other guys that are trying to chase them on down. But they did pit quite a bit sooner than the other drivers, so tire wear is going to be the big thing there. Cale Turbeville coming on out strong on that fresh set of tires, runs a fastest lap of the race, trying to make up some time and make up some space here. 13 of Mark Beverly. He was in the pits for a long time. A 20-second even stop for him. I'm sure he's going to be yelling at the pit crew a little bit here at the end of this thing.
Well, meatball flag for Bunjo. What happened there?
Oh, Kevin Winker coming back down onto pit road here as well.
Oh, action. When we didn't even know there was action. I don't know what happened. It looked like he had a meatball flag. Is that what it's showing to you, English?
Yeah. Jake Bunjo, 86, meatball flag.
Well, let's,
Mandatory repairs required.
and it looked like
really
the
happened to him.
42 of Winker was kind of struggling down there a little bit. Down on pit road. I'm just kind of going back to see if I see anything.
Tower operator knows about the chicken. KGB chicken.
As we, ooh. Oh, I wonder if the 86 just blew an engine. Like, I think he might have had some front end damage and then his temps just got hot. Because here, we'll jump into the cockpit here with him as soon as I can find the.
Nothing happened to him. He didn't hit anything after he came out of pit road. I watched that myself. I don't know.
He damaged his engine over revving or something when he was exiting?
Or like Brown said, maybe the front end was a little damaged. That's a tough one right there. He was in the top 15.
As we follow around here with him, going down through turns 1 and 2. Can hear it bogging down a little bit on the power side of things, but doesn't sound too bad. And then it just poof. And it wasn't even our typical like iRacing poof either. That was like a actual like the oil pan got drained out from him.
It just went to 0 there for him.
Sounded like my driving career in iRacing. Down the drain. Yeah.
You can see his tachometer needle just going crazy there as the motor blew and did not know what to do there.
Yeah, he was definitely fighting against something there. Unfortunate there for the 86 machine. Well, while we're away with that Sonic Graphic Designs action replay, we'll head on back out here live where Josh Freed has taken over the front of this race with coming up on to 9 laps to go here in just a second. 51 Joshua Moore, 64, Cale Turbeville up there inside of that top 3. Brett Sommers, Brian Torcha, Eric Stoy, and Mark Beverly alongside Nick Gardner, Haas Beverly, and Tyler Beverly. So Beverly brothers looking pretty strong up here inside of that top 10 here tonight as we get all ready for this the final sprint to the end here at Autoclub.
Earl Evans trying to trigger you out there, Adam, talking about, all that one day at Pocono just kind of killed your racing career.
Oh,
I don't know what he's talking about.
It's when you doored me at Pocono. Everybody knows that. Yeah, that was pretty much one of the things that finished it off.
You hung up your racing shoes after that, huh?
I didn't wear shoes. I'd like to race barefoot. There's no chance for a fire here.
I got to race in my ropers.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
That'd be interesting. Ropers were really big in the 90s, so I know where your mindset is.
Girl said it was traumatizing for you. That's why you had to end it.
It was. I can barely even stand to watch any of these races anymore after all the pain I suffered. These guys aren't suffering through pain here tonight. They're just suffering through tire wear.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. But they're just going to have to suffer for about 7 more laps as this race looks like it's going to be a flag-to-flag finish here at Autoclub, which is one of the reasons why we do like this track. It's definitely known to have its high-impact racing, but as well as its long runs that we're getting here, like we got here tonight, as the 39 tucks up underneath that 17 for as much draft as possible before moving out of line as late as possible, getting all that air. And this, you can see the 64 Kale Turboville right there, right behind him, doing the exact same thing. That's going to be for your top 2. 51 Joshua Moore trying to hold things down up here for that Team America and try to pick up at least a podium for them here tonight. Maybe a win, depending on how things trail off here towards the final couple of laps. How about that 7 of Brett Somers, last pitting on lap 46 and still hanging on to 4th right now?
Yeah, he's plugging along out there. Him and a couple guys out there running together with a little bit of damage. The reason he's able to kind of keep up with them there's... Yeah, man, it's a long season. If you don't get a great finish tonight, don't worry about it. I mean, these guys are going to be racing into August. Third week of August. The last race, I believe, is the 22nd of August. So these guys will be racing for a while here. There's plenty of time to recover after a bad finish here early in the season.
The communists may own the country by August. You better get your racing in now. Wow, that is a long season. That's fine. We're going to be here with them. HCKBeaglesRacingLeague.com. Check out their website. It's pretty cool. And you can get their gear at TrackDogsRacing.com. I love the guys over there, especially Josh Bidner. Great little small shop to get all your cool clothes and iRacing gear.
We got to support our small businesses, right?
Yeah.
100%.
That indeed. I'm gotta actually get in contact with Josh. I got some ideas planned with him.
Oh, big ideas?
I got some big ideas.
I love big ideas.
As we got a great battle here for the race lead with 4 laps to go, absolutely just separating themselves from the rest of the field, but they're side by side, the 39 and the 64 going at it here, trying to pick up the race win here tonight. The 64 Kale down on that bottom side, the 39 of Freed up on the high side. Well, it looks like they're going to do a little do-si-do and trading up those positions, trying to go for the crossover as the 39 of Freed, and it looks like he will just get enough of that run down there coming out of turn number 4. So I got a feel this is going to be one of those, we're going to keep trading spots until they don't want to trade spots no more and they start trading paint.
Yeah, they can only do that for so long, right? They don't have that much longer to go. Do a little trading positions up there. Doing
we're running out of time here.
That we are. We'll check back in on that battle for the lead here in a second. But man, take a look at this gaggle of action going on here around that 16 of Gardner and the 7 of Brett Sommer, still hanging on to that 4th place spot. But so many trucks are there around them. This race is far from over for these guys as they continue to battle it on out. Returning up here to the action here at the front, the 64 looks like he's got a little bit of breathing room, but that 39 is still tucked in to that draft as they make their way down that long back stretch. down into turns 3 and 4. They just got to come back down and across the line one more time to take that white flag. Are they going to get there before anything happens? Looks like it. As the 39 man, he is struggling on those tires. He might have overcooked them on this run just a little bit with that battle there with the 64. As the white flag waves, this is it. No cautions here tonight. It's going to be a flag to flag finish for you folks here. A special race indeed, as Cale gets the run out of turns 1 and 2. That 39 of Freed just trailing ever so slightly in the background here, man. He is giving it all she's got, heading on down into turns 3 and 4. I don't think he's going to be able to close up the ground just enough. One final lunge attempt. No, he's going to drift out wide, scrape against the outside wall, as here comes that 64 of Cale Turbeville, looking cool as ever, bringing that Klondike machine home for your race win. Talk about a great finish here between the 13, oh my goodness, 13, the 7, beat doors as they cross the line. Same thing with the 4. You had the 51 of Joshua Moore getting the podium spot here over Nick Gardner, just barely, not by much. It was less than a quarter of a second for that one. So a fantastic finish for all these drivers up here, all the way 1 through 8. It was a pretty tight finish.
Yeah, 15 trucks finished on the lead lap here. Bad Brad Hunt in the 169, your last truck on the lead lap in 15th place.
Well,
Yeah,
we
great
didn't.
finish for Moore there.
Yeah, and we had really no fighting, which kind of was terrible for me. But I think we have fighting on the chat. This Wolfgang Farrow, he says the Panthers about to win Game 1. Boston is getting ready to hit the links. Wonder what he's talking about. Do you know what he's talking about, Brown?
There's video evidence of the NHL rigging Game 7. You can go check it out.
Oh.
I knew you weren't going to be happy. I had to.
Yeah, but
What a race, though. Look at the burnout there. We got.
Check out what Earl said. He said all the Beverleys in the top 10. Ohio boys are tough out there.
That's a gang. That's a gang. Be careful.
It's a game. Pretty tough
the
race
Van-
team.
Like the Van Buren boys. Gotta watch out. Cale's really having a good time. Josh Freed, though, up 15. That's great. Stoy up 12. Tyler Beverly up 17. That's fairly impressive as well. Pretty clean race.
Oh no, I know what happened to K-Dub.
What?
Oh, he says it right there in chat.
Oh, no.
That stupid auto fuel. Oh, absolute heartbreak there for the 42 machine.
What, it run out of gas?
It on that last pit stop, he had to come down a second time because it didn't fuel him up.
Oh, no.
Well, you know what? Winker, Team America captain, he's going to be fine. He always has good races.
Yeah.
Just a rough one tonight. He'll be
Picked
back.
up the pole tonight, too. So
That he did, so that's some good points there for him as we head on down here and get these driver interviews all started and underway. Starting us off with that third place podium finish is going to be the 51, Mr. Joshua Moore. Had a little bit, I don't want to say up and down. He really never left, the top 7, other than kind of like at the start there. It looked like maybe a couple little contacts with the outside wall. Truck maybe getting a little tight there early on, but you settled back into that run there, Josh, and you find yourself fighting for a pretty dang good podium finish here tonight.
Yeah, this feels really good. Had an awful Daytona, and then I wasn't here last week, and I ended up not hitting the wall at all, which is probably a personal record for me. But at the beginning, we were just trying to stay up front, and I ended up getting a little loose. Almost hit. Had to check up for the wall a couple times, check up for other cars. But I decided I was just going to stay out for a long run for the first run, and then cut it in half for the rest of it. And I think it worked out pretty well for me.
Well, Josh, that Muehlberger Custom Homes Chevy Silverado, probably one of the cleanest looking trucks out there at the end of this race. I don't see a scratch on it. I'm looking all around it, but that was very important here today. I mean, you guys are racing the racetrack, right? For the most part, and part of it is keeping it off the wall. And you did a great job there. Talk about what other challenges you guys faced out there.
Yeah, that was one of my main goals today, just to keep it off of the wall. And I thought if I keep it off the wall, I'll probably get a top 5. And I think that worked pretty well. I know Cody and Zach, they got into some other people at the beginning of the race, and then Kevin ended up pitting in on that second pit stop, and it didn't give him fuel, so he had to come back in. And then and just kept it off the wall and be able to keep it clean for the end of this thing.
Yeah, you did a great job. Real quick, what do you think about next week? iRacing Super Speedway. Are you going to be able to keep it clean there? And anybody you'd like to give some shout outs to?
Oh yeah, next weekend, next Tuesday, iRacing. That one's going to be on my birthday, turning 18 for that one, and then we're probably not going to be able to keep the truck in one piece at the end of that thing. But I want to give a shout out to Muleburger Custom Homes, of course. He's been with me for a while. I want to give a shout out to the rest of my team, Kevin, Zach, Cody. They're always a ton of fun. Thank my parents for watching this. Thank my girlfriend. Thank you guys for broadcasting this thing.
Awesome.
You got to thank the girlfriend.
Oh, absolutely.
Good job.
Indeed. Well, 51, Mr. Joshua Moore picking up a solid third place finish here on this podium here tonight, man. Congratulations. Good luck next week, mate. It's your birthday week. You got to tell these guys to lay off. You give you a little bit of extra room out there, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Well, good luck out there and good luck the rest of the season, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
Moving on up the podium, we get to talk for the first time, I think, here this season, up 15 spots. Mr. Joshua Freed having a heck of a run out there, Josh. And I know you were saving tires by the looks of it the first couple stages, and you found yourself up there towards the front kind of later in that kind of stage area, and then having a great battle there with Kale here at the end. Did it just burn up those tires just a little too much?
Yeah, I definitely I ran out the first fuel run as much as I could to try and set myself up to be able to do whatever I wanted with tires in that second stop, so I wouldn't have to worry about fuel being an issue. So yeah, I had to kind of save a little bit more in the first half. Was able to still make my way up there and put myself in a good position. And I thought I was worried I waited too long in that last pit stop and I wasn't gonna be able to catch the guys in front of me, but looks like Kale's strategy of pitting even later was the better one. So I tried to hold him off as best as I could, but he's raced me nice, raced me clean, and was able to get by me. So still happy with second.
Well, like we just said to Josh Moore, I mean, your truck is extremely clean. That Toyota has hardly a scratch on it. A little bit on the right rear quarter, it looks like you had a little run-in with the wall there, but just a little paint scrapage. Great job out there tonight. Josh, you know about the Philly Fanatic, don't you? Probably the best.
Oh yeah, best mascot in all sports.
Ever. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. But what other challenges did you face out there today besides that outside wall?
Yeah, it was tough. I was off of it all day, especially early on. You know, if I thought I was going to get close to it, I lifted, because if you just get any type of aero damage here, your day's done. So, you know, I just played it super safe early on, and I got up behind a lap car coming out of 3 and 4, and it kind of got me up a little bit higher on entry than I wanted to be, and I just tapped the wall ever so slightly there, and it lost me about a second to Kale, which is one of the big reasons that I lost that lead there. But yeah, I mean, you got to stay as clean as possible here with the aero. It's super important. So I'm glad I was able to keep it clean for the most part.
Yeah, next week's going to be the same at iRace, and aero is going to be everything, keeping it clean. I don't know how many fast repairs I will have, but if it's 0, it's going to be a crazy night over there next week. Good job on the podium tonight. Who would you like to thank?
I appreciate it. My teammate Jake, it was a rough night for him, but you know, he was helping me out, making sure I was on par with fuel and pitting strategy and stuff. So always help keep each other focused on the black box stuff to make sure we don't get too caught up in the race and that we make a mistake. So I'm always thankful for that. But on to next week, hopefully we can both have a good day there.
Awesome. Well, great job out there for up 15 positions. 39, Mr. Josh Freed having a great night up there in second place. Congratulations there, buddy, and good luck coming up here next week and the rest of the season here, bud.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And moving on up to tonight's race winner. It's a man who wished we could have talked to him more last year, but man, he didn't wait too long here this time around. 64, Mr. Cale Turbeville in his Klondike machine, picking up the race win here tonight. And Cale, we've been saying this about all three of you guys up there on that podium. Sorry for stealing your shindig here, Mr. English, but racing really clean out there, pretty much not a scratch on that truck whatsoever. How do you feel your strategy? Obviously, your strategy worked out pretty well here tonight to pick up the win, but it looked like you had to fight through some traffic there kind of towards the end as well.
Yeah, I definitely had to do that. My strategy was the age-old method of just follow Winker, and it worked out for me great. It was mainly about tires, especially there at the end. I probably wouldn't have been able to get around Freed if I didn't wait those extra 2 laps after them. But I cut it close on fuel. I only had like a lap and a half left of fuel, so I'm very thankful we did not have a green-white checkered there at the end. But I'm happy with it.
You weren't the only one that was close. There was a bunch of trucks that were on that same pit strategy, and you know, you had a little bit of damage on the right rear. It's pushed in just a touch, but I don't think it hurt you a bit. That Chevrolet was fast all night. How much of that is the paint job? I mean, if you're not getting free ice cream bars yet from Klondike, it ought to be pretty close here coming down the road soon, I would think, because that thing's done well just about every race we see in.
Yeah, that paint scheme's definitely got some luck. Every time I take it off, I always finish bad, so I gotta keep it. I gotta keep it flying proud. But I don't know. Thank you to Josh Moore for making it. By the way, this new version of it.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't know he painted cars. That's a good looking paint.
Yeah, he did. He did pretty dang good on it.
Well, I mean, it was a great race. No flags tonight, no fighting tonight, so you win. I think it turned out pretty good for you. iRacing next week. What do you think about that? iRacing Super Speedway, and some other thank yous or shout outs before we get off of here.
Well, I'm kind of scared of iRacing. I'd be very much happy with the top 10. Just good for points, I'm hoping. But yeah, I'd like to thank my mama, my daddy, everybody's watching, everybody that makes this possible, y'all for doing a great job broadcasting, Mr. Gregory, Mr. Michael, ones that put this on, and everybody for running a clean race tonight. It was fun.
Well, awesome job out there, Mr. Cale Turbeville in that 64 machine, who I guess is going to need a tow truck to get him off of that
Yeah, his motor blew.
logo off of the center field there. But congratulations on picking up the race win here tonight, Cale. Good luck the rest of the season here, buddy, and we look forward to possibly seeing you here again in the future.
Yes, sir. I hope to see you.
And with that, the race in action comes to a close already. Quick night here, boys. That's what happens when you run flag to flag the entire way around it. And man, well, that's just Autoclub for you. Nice, clean, hard racing all the way around.
Yep, glad to see these guys really love running at a track like this. That's challenging, not just the aero aspect, not just the tire wear aspect. But a little bit of everything and some teamwork and stuff as well here. So, yeah, fun times always had here at Autoclub Speedway in California.
Yeah, fun times with HCKBRL, RacingLeague.com. Check them out. You got a cool website, driver bios, all that stuff. Had some fun tonight. Looking forward to next week, Brown.
Yeah, that indeed. Well, before we get to next week, we have to close things down here for tonight. And that gets us started off with our final rundown of Cale Turbeville picking up that race win here in that 64 machine. Right behind him is going to be the 39 of Josh Freed, having a great race there himself. Just coming up a little bit shy but a solid day, up 15 spots for him. Joshua Moore finishes right where he started there in 3rd spot with that 51 Muhleberger Custom Homes machine. So good run from him. Nick Gardner finishes right there in 4th as well. So a solid run for Nick here tonight. That's another great finish I think he's had in a row. Let's see here. We also got the 13 of Mark Beverly. I don't know what happened there that he ended up sitting in the pits a little bit longer than he wanted to, but that's really what kind of cost him a whole chunk of time here towards the end. But he still manages to hang on for a top 5 finish. You get Brett Sommers up here as well, having a solid race night, up 6 in that 7 machine to finish in 6th. You got 4 of Eric Stoy up 12 spots to finish in 7th. 81 Brian Torcha having a pretty good night there in 8th. 9th will be the 22 of Haas, the Boss Beverly. And rounding out your top 10 and your hard charger of the evening, up 17 spots, Mr. Tyler Beverly in the 45. Beverly's doing a heck of a job out there tonight.
David Wright in the 44 started up in 5th. He'll finish in 11th place tonight. Randy Lapidus in the 14 will finish in 12th. 13th place, Stephen Naylor in the 5. 15 of Cody Staten, one of the Staten boys out there. Dropped a couple of spots. He'll finish in 14th place. Last truck on the lead lap out there, Bad Brad Hunt in the 169. Kevin Winker will finish 1 lap down in 16th place after starting on the pole here tonight. Albert Anderson, America's driver in the 329, will finish in 17th place. 18th will be Zachary Staten, one of the other Staten boy out there in the 88. Frank Ranger in the 25 finishes in 19th place. And rounding out your top 20 tonight, you started in 11th, but he'll finish in 20th tonight. Jesse Calloway in the 34.
Yeah, 24 Andrew Hansley, 21st. 26 of J.A. Burton, 22nd. 21 of Paul Buchanan, rookie to this league, 23rd. Neil Lapidus, another rookie to this league, 24th. John Cholino, same scenario, 25th. Jonathan Herbert in the 87 truck, 26th. Nathan Cogdell in that 1 truck, 27th. Jake Bunjo in the 86, he ended up 28th. And the old double nickel himself, Tom Barish, even though he was 17 tonight, he's double nickel in our hearts. Yeah. He ended up 29th. Thanks, Michael Newton, for race control.
And that is your field here from Autoclub in California. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live with some great race and action for you. As coming up here in a couple of weeks, we're going to be starting up once again 5 nights a week. That's a ton of racing action that you do not want to miss. And if you like any of it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well. So that way Mark Zuckerberg can stop putting Adam over there in a corner, because he doesn't like being in a corner.
Nobody puts Adam in a corner.
Nobody.
I agree.
So we thank you all for that. We also have to say another big thank you to the fantastic sponsors like Asphalt, Outlaws Racing. Thank you guys for sponsoring tonight's race. We also have to say a big thank you to Abruzzi Racewear. Be sure to go check them on out for some fantastic racing apparel. Go check out trackdogsracing.com, trackdogs.net for any of your HCK Beagles Racing League merchandise or AAA broadcasting merchandise. Be sure to go check them on out. Big thank you to Cheifland RC Raceway down there in Florida. Thank you guys for your sponsorship here this season, as well as Sonic Graphic Design. We really didn't get the yellows that we kind of like to use for that action replay cam, but we got you in there a couple of times there. But thank you guys for your season-long sponsorship, and of course, big thank you to AdminBoxx for their sponsorship here this season as well. And that's pretty much it. Looking on ahead, we already said what's coming up next week on Tuesday, but what's coming up here tomorrow night with the Vigilante Racing League? Ooh, boy, oh boy, we got some Kansas action coming at you here tomorrow night. 1.5 miles for 100 laps in those trucks. That should be a fantastic one. We've only seen a couple multiple winners here this season already. So lots of positions to be had indeed over there on Wednesday night. So be sure to tune in to that one. But until tomorrow night, I'm Alan Brown for Mr. Alan English and Mr. Adam Turner. We are signing off.
We go.
See ya.